Let's move on to the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm very excited to watch this team play football this year. Win total of 5.5 here at Bet365, but that's over at plus 110, under at minus 140. Division plus 2,500, conference plus 4,000, and Super Bowl plus 8,000. Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year, plus 200. Worst offense in the NFC last year. Does it improve? And it should. It should, but not necessarily because of the quarterback, or maybe because of everything else but the quarterback. Kyler Murray comes in, lots of talent, durability question marks, enormous amounts of pressure. The draft picks after him were very strong. Cornerback Byron Murphy, wide receiver Andy Isabella, defensive end Zach Allen, wide receiver Hakeem Butler. David Johnson needs to bounce back. Can Larry Fitzgerald keep doing it at 35? Christian Kirk should be better in his second year. Patrick Peterson facing a 6-game suspension for PEDs that hurts. Chandler Jones is excellent, averaging 14 sacks a year over the past 3 years. And then here comes Terrell Suggs. He's going to come in. He's going to bring you leadership, experience, and Budda Baker gets to return to free safety, which is the position he should be playing. He needs to be playing. So I like that he's moving back there. That's where he started at the University of Washington. Donnie Rightside, how are you handling the Arizona Cardinals?
It's pretty wild when you look at the tickets there. 150 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, 50 to 1 to win the NFC. And you say, boy, that's high. Maybe they have a little bit of a chance in the NFC West. 25 to 1 ticket in the NFC West, which tells you a little bit about what we're going to expect from the Arizona Cardinals. But from a fielding perspective of a team, I got to say, I'm actually kind of impressed where the direction might be headed over the next couple of years, because you finally get an innovator on offense. Now, a lot of people rip Kingsbury. He can't win in college. He's not supposed to come in and change the face of the game. He's supposed to put in some concepts here that can move, because I think we can all agree, watching the Arizona Cardinals was a flat-out embarrassment to football last year on offense. You're talking about a team, Jimmy, we weren't even worried about them scoring points. We were worried about if their offense can pick up first downs and get positive yardage last year. So just a change in that, and also you're going to get a pretty dynamic quarterback running an open spread. That should be fun. Their wide receivers are capable. They have a good pass-catching running back out of the backfield, very versatile. But also, let's not forget about the defense, which seemingly fell off the map last year. We're talking about a half decade where this team was like a top 10 defense. Now going back, Jimmy, to the 3-4, they added some pieces out there. Chandler Jones should be fine from an outside linebacker position. Now, Terrell Suggs is a little bit older, but he can add that meanness to the defense. You got a pretty good defensive line and an adequate secondary. We're taking a look at 5 in the NFL. 5 as a team total here. Am I saying they're going to, burn it up and win 8 to 9 games and be that team like, oh my goodness, look at this. They do still have a rookie quarterback. They have a new regime coming in. There are going to be some learning curves, but the NFL did them a favor looking at the schedule. They get to open up at home, Jimmy, with 3 out of the first 4 games at home to sort of ease into it. They get Detroit, which, look, Detroit's probably going to handle them opening game. I think we already went over that, but it's still opening day. There's still some things. Nobody's seen this offense for Arizona, but when you look at the 5, it's crazy to think that we all laughed at him. I laughed at him as well coming into the season. But when you see the moves they made and going back to the 3-4, you're just going to get a market improvement on field just by the changing of the regime. Give me the over 5. I think they got a legitimate shot at winning 6 games this year.
Wow. And I love what they did in the draft. I like some of these guys quite a bit. Well, Capper, can't wait to hear your breakdown on these Arizona Cardinals.
So I'm a long-term buyer in the Cardinals and in Cliff Kingsbury and in Kyler Murray. I think that they have now a nucleus and a core that will be relatively competitive week in, week out in the NFL. Cliff, I love Donnie's, quote there that he couldn't even win in college. How the hell is he going to win the NFL? Well, if he just brings his exact scheme into the NFL, we already know he's operating from a plus expected value standpoint by passing more on first and second downs, which is where we're going with all this. Like, if you need to absolutely be, willing to take risks early, you need to be passing, you need to be going for it on 4th down. And I think we'll see a lot of that from this Cardinals team because they have nothing to lose. You look at the look-ahead lines for all 17 weeks this season, they are dogs in every single game. They will not be favored, at this time at least. Things may change. They may, tear the doors off once Patrick Peterson comes back from his suspension and Kyler Murray's got a few starts under his belt. They may look real dangerous and they may be some favorites. But as we sit here and look at their schedule now, they're expected to be underdogs in every single game. And you go in and kind of categorize, well, how much are they going to be dogs by? A bunch of them, they're double-digit underdogs, like very low likelihood that they're going to be able to win games like at the Rams, at Seattle. So, they have some tough spots in their schedule where it's going to be tough for them to drastically overperform expectation. But to get to 5 or 6 wins, they're going to have to win a lot of their coin flip games. They're going to be, field goal underdogs in a bunch of games, and they're going to have to win them. I'm more interested in finding those spots and betting them week in, week out for them to win when their expectations are low, and because they're going to be a high variance team. Sometimes Cliff Kingsbury's approach isn't going to work in games, but sometimes it will. And so I kind of want to try to identify those spots and bet them in the season. But I am a long-term buyer. I just can't. I can't get involved in a win total that's been beaten this high already, given that they're going to be underdogs likely so often.